Hi, my name is Susan Pierce Thompson, and I am an expert in the psychology and neuroscience of what it takes to lose weight and then keep it off long term. What makes me an expert? Well, I went to college at UC Berkeley. I got my bachelor's degree in cognitive science, which is the study of the mind and the brain. I got a 4.0 every semester, and I was the student keynote speaker at the graduation ceremony. I then went on to graduate school at the University of Rochester, which was one of the top 3 programs in the country, still is today, in brain and cognitive sciences. I got my master's in 2001 and my PhD in brain and cognitive sciences in 2003. I then went on to do a postdoctoral fellowship all the way over in Australia at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. And then I came back to the United States, and I am now a tenured psychology professor. And for many years now, I've been teaching a college course in the psychology of eating. Now, one of the things I teach in my college course is that people are not all the same when it comes to food. In fact, there's a spectrum of what I call susceptibility to the addictive properties of refined foods. I'm talking about foods like ice cream, cake, cookies, crackers, pizza, chips, foods like that. On the low end, let's think of it from 1 to 10, and on the low end, you've got people who are a 1 or a 2. If you're a 1 or a 2, you don't think about food very much. You may not even be watching this video. You eat when it's time to eat, and you move on with your life. If you're on the high end of this spectrum, an 8 or a 9 or a 10, you feel the pull, the craving, the tug of addictive foods really strongly. You may be preoccupied with food, even obsessed with food. When you eat, you don't feel satisfied, and you frequently feel a loss of control when you eat. Like it's hard to control how much you eat once you start going. Now, I really relate to that because on this spectrum from 1 to 10, I'm a 10. It's a dubious luxury. It's not the kind of thing you want to be a perfect 10 in. And as a matter of fact, it's caused a whole lot of anguish and grief in my life. I was overweight at the age of 12, and it got worse from there. I tried to diet, but my weight just kept going up and down and up and down and up and down, but overall the trajectory was up, and by the time I was 28 years old, I was clinically obese. Now, I didn't know that I was obese. No one showed up at my door with a certificate. Congratulations, you are now obese. But I know what I weighed, and now I know where the BMI marker is, and I was obese. And I tried lots of things to lose weight. I was clinically depressed. I joined gyms. I did all sorts of things, and nothing seemed to work. Finally, a friend who also struggled with food the way I did showed me a plan of eating, and it worked. I lost all my weight in 6 months. I went from a size 16 to a size 4 in just 6 months, and I have maintained a size 4 now for the better part of 11 years. So what has happened for me is I have been watching the national scene, the national landscape on eating and food and weight. I don't need to tell you that a third of people are overweight and another third are obese, and that people are suffering from high blood pressure and high cholesterol and pre-diabetes and diabetes and osteoarthritis and cancer and all these problems that are conditions related to food consumption. But what I want to let you know is that something else I've noticed is that most of the people who design fitness plans and weight loss plans are on the low end of this spectrum themselves. They really fundamentally don't know what it's like to be powerfully obsessed with food and to feel the addictive pull of food and to not know how to control that. So what happens when people who are on the low end of that spectrum and don't relate to that, they design plans, is that they design them exactly wrong. They say things like eat in moderation and eat several small meals a day and all these sorts of pieces of advice that don't work if you're someone who is on the high end of this spectrum. In fact, what I have done is I've surveyed the landscape and I've discovered that most people are making one of 3 huge mistakes when they try to lose weight. And in fact, almost everybody's making all 3 of these huge mistakes. And to get the word out about this, I've written a free report. It's called The 3 Huge Mistakes That Almost Everyone Makes When They Try to Lose Weight. And I've put it up on the internet so people can download it for free. You can download it yourself. It's at happythinandfree.com, www.happythinandfree.com. And if you download that free report, you will discover what it is in your brain that's blocking you from being able to lose weight and what you can do about it. So I invite you to go to happythinandfree.com and check it out for yourself. Thanks.